Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. This is part 3 of the Provo Canyon Trail and why did they change to God and how we're trying to stay free from authoritarian domination. They don't control the conversation. Neither do we. Fairness controls by our choice. And if you don't agree, you're cursed for doing us wrong unless you stop doing us wrong, and then we help you too. So I'm trying to figure out, another dream I had was like a nightmare. I was told I was going to have a nightmare. And as what I dreamed about was my death. And I remember having convulsions, and then it's changed to being in the hospital on the gurney, being rolled down the hallway. And then it changed so that was someone else, and I was observing. So I was in a no body form beyond being able to die, observing things. So when my friend said all he had time to say was that was like a dream about his death, I think. And it was like guidance for him. Look into what Om's about. And I don't know if he ever did. He changed it to Jesus. I was going to say Satan. Isn't that the same thing sometimes? So he had to go to survive. He had to choose to get help from Satan growing up. Most people do. They use both. And I do too. But how I define this is fairness. I use any being that's fair, that's on Team Fairness, for protection and for power. And I'm against anyone that's not fair. And they're cursed unless they agree to stop doing us wrong. So, in this dream where, like 2 nights ago, I was going to die, I woke up that morning, I could barely get out of bed. Have I been poisoned? What's going on? And I don't know, so I'm like really struggling to stay relaxed through this because I could go into a panic about it. Today I have like sore lungs and I had a cough and I did some breathing to breathe all my air out to clear my lungs out. And I'm thinking, maybe I've got COVID again. Maybe I have a small amount. Maybe it's some kind of flu. But I seem to have got past it. And so I don't think I was poisoned. I think it was a flu of some kind. Or COVID that I shook off real quickly. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking now is it's like a common cold of some kind. So I'm wondering who died. I've been thinking maybe I should be checking the obituaries because maybe my friend died. And so I wonder if he said if he did die. So I'm looking into who it is. Usually it's some prominent figure that they use in my dream communication. So when I've taken people, when they die and I take them where they're supposed to go, it's not ordinary people. It's somebody famous, so that it shows me that it's not really real, because otherwise I would be taking ordinary people just as much as famous people. But I have taken a friend far away from everywhere here they were hurting her. It's really sad. So I had the dream that I carried her and I flew carrying her on my back, me flying like Superman. And I took her far away from everywhere, from anyone, to this safe place. So, the earthquake could be about somebody's death. Maybe Donald Trump dies, maybe Glenn Beck dies, my nemesis Glenn Beck. Since I was on this path of victory, and then he comes on the radio and he's copying me. And he's screaming on the phone, and at that time I was screaming on the phone because I had so much anger. So he was copying what I was doing. And that made me even more angry at him. I had an anger problem. I don't need anger now, because if somebody does me wrong, I just curse them unless they stop doing me wrong. So on the way up to the canyon here, I was hearing telepathically in my mind, and somebody said, one of the people in, it's like a committee that we can overhear, or sometimes they're talking to us and sometimes we just overhear them. I've heard them described as people in some other room. Where's this other room? I don't know. It's like that. They said that the boys won and the girls lost. So I've noticed the girls are like being really obvious. Girls is any female. Females is more accurate, because it's any age. They will project onto a male that's nearby, and as if the male's like so stupid he doesn't know or something, that they're doing it. And they act as if they have ownership over the male. That's their genetics to do that. And males also have I own everything. I protect everything. I own everything for a good reason. There's no boss over me, because I'm protecting everyone for a good reason. Fairness is the boss over me. It always will be. So, there's two sides to what the women are doing. So I don't want to be unfair in what I'm saying. So they claim that I'm their self. I dreamed this, that I was Wendy's self. And in AA, it talks about we had to have a power greater than ourself. And so they're saying that they have the power greater than me, because I'm the one they claim as their self. See what I'm saying? And so they don't ever help their self. They always help others, other than me. And so this is what they're doing to the males. I'm not the only one they're doing this to. So they lost that game. We figured it out. The males figured it out. So the girls lost and the boys won. And it's not really that way. It's case by case. So some of the girls won against the unfair girls. And they won against the unfair boys. And vice versa. So that's the way it really is. It's about fairness versus unfairness. That's all it's ever been about. I think that's all it's ever going to be about. It's good versus evil. And we have lots of movies about the hero that defeats the unfair person. And we all get to play in this drama. Do you want to be a bad guy and be unfair to everyone? And see if you can get away with being unfair? Cheating people, lying, being a hypocrite? Maybe there's a reason you're playing that game. I don't know. So anyway, it's like we get a second chance, third chance, as long as we agree to stop being unfair. So the curse is if you refuse to stop doing us wrong. A curse on those doing us wrong unless they stop. And if they stop doing us wrong, then we help them and forgive them. I don't forgive until the person stops doing me wrong. Anyway, here's a view of the mountain through the window. It's a lot quieter to record this in the car. Sorry about the previous two parts that are so noisy. That's Timpanogos there. It's like 12,000 feet high. And anyway, 11 o'clock's getting close. It's some kind of earthquake at 11 o'clock. That's the prediction from my telepathic mind.